it said. No. And we are live. Welcome back, everybody. It's round 5, and it's the top boys once again in tier 1 who will start off the week. Actually, no. We have to remember that now we do have an esports team, so we start off the week on Sundays. If I could give everyone in the league a reminder, on Sundays we do have the esports with Viva will be streaming on this channel, so do tune in if you do have the time to watch our boys cook up against other league drivers. But here we go. It's the first race of round 5 for UFRL ourselves. And who will take pole position here at Monza? Viva is the first driver to finish his time. JCF1, who had that funny situation in the lounge earlier today, is still going to be racing. The situation will be fixed later on. But there he is now, going into turn 1. He has a 120.0 and there's a 119.7 from Silky Stevens. The championship leader in tier 2 is going to reserve for Kick Sauber here today. He's reserving in front 4, I believe it's Black Panther. And we'll see how strong he can do here today. His teammate will be serving an engine pen with Hazer. I don't know who the third driver who will be serving an engine pen today is, but those two are going to be serving one. Wizard Rex, oh yeah, Parkour is going to be serving one. I believe Wizard Rex might have a quali ban. Not too sure, but no, I don't think he has a quali ban. Wizard Rex only have three penalty points. So I don't know why he has retired. Maybe a crash from him. But that's 4 drivers now retired from the session. And Coffee goes the quickest to the 119.1. Setting the 119 in your first lap means that he probably can set even a better one later in qualifying. It's good to see you in the chat, Bakey. Late getting on stream again, Willie. No. you guys were the one distracting me, man. We're having a nice conversation in the chit chat, and I just forgot I was meant to start the stream. What's wrong with me? You guys need to stop talking to me so I remember what I need to do, huh? Well, Silky moves out the way. Very, very interesting strategy there, as he's being a lawnmower at the moment. Most of the drivers are doing their times now. Rusted Boat, the only Visa RB on track. The Bird surely would not be happy with what's happening today, but you have to serve your engine pen the way it is set in this league. Go out for your lap and you come straight back in and retire. Bird last week didn't serve his engine pen. He did disqualify himself and still started at the back. Still ended up finishing on the podium, but the rules are the rules. You're going to have to go out here. And the stewards decided it would be a race ban for him. Well, they were planning on doing a race ban and an engine pen again for the Bird, but the engine pen for later was removed because he did serve one. But the race ban will stay. So Rusted Boat will be the only Visa RB on track to do anything for them today. Other teams definitely in the constructors will be looking at that, as Visa will be currently sitting P2. We'll be looking at that and thinking maybe this will be the moment that we could use to maybe just get closer to them or get ahead of them, depending on where you are currently on the constructors. But here you go, Rusted Boat is going to have a lot of on his plate today, and surely he's going to have to take that with open arms. But we'll see exactly what he does. Pesci goes P2, 119.2. A tenth lower than the man in P1. You know what, Pesci definitely has more pace in him when it comes to that time, as Mark goes up to P4, 119.7 for the Mercedes. Oh, I think my TV is too loud. I don't want you guys hearing like a background. So what's good, everyone? So what's good, Cowley, who's currently the championship leader in tier 3. Will definitely be cheering his team, the Red Bull, here today, as Destroyer Drag goes up to P3 with a 119.4, 3 tenths faster than Silky Stevens. Tier 2 drivers currently faster than a few tier 1s. Sandbaggers is the question we ask. Do they have sand in their bags? especially Destroyer Drac. I mean, Destroyer he's not bad in quali. Like when it comes to tier one, when it comes to the race, that's where he struggles. And you have to understand when you're racing these tier one drivers, their consistency, lap by lap, it's very hard to keep up. Sometimes I've raced in tier one like for I believe that was 2 seasons or 1 season actually 2 seasons. So I understand how it feels when you're racing with some drivers like just too consistent. You could have that quali pace. I mean, it's everybody can have pace in quali, but you have that pace in a race to keep close to them. I'm just yapping now. Let's just watch JCFC begin his lap as we head to he's going to start his lap now. The Red Bull behind. Finishing their lap, ARC Mickey will be going into the pits. P7 or 120.0. Time that you're not surprised with from a tier 2 driver. ARC Mickey. Interesting story from him. He was the tier 2 driver once. Won the title in tier 2. Moved up to tier 1 and won the title his first season in tier 1. And I believe he's the only driver who has accomplished that feat. Who else can do that? Our driver who was promoted this season, who was Flynn, is actually not racing this season. So we can't see if he could win the championship. I don't believe Flynn does have that pace. Did have that pace to beat the likes of Pesci. So then maybe back then when ARC did do the tier 2 and tier 1 championship back to back, the league wasn't as quick because the league has been getting quicker and quicker and quicker as we go. It's just really hard right now to grab that title. You do expect the likes of Pesci, Bird, Matthias, Mano to be the ones fighting for a title, and it's happening again as with Pesci and Bird are going at it. But Pesci and Declan, let's not forget about him, would definitely be happy seeing that race ban from the Visa RB of the Bird, knowing that this is the opportunity, because they are the ones who always finish on the podium. Declan didn't get a podium last week at Australia, which is I won't say it's a surprise. I don't see Declan getting a podium in every race. It's more of a surprise if Bird and Pesci don't get a podium. But yeah, last week he didn't get that podium that he definitely needs if he wants to keep up with Pesci and the Bird when it comes to his championship fight at the Mercedes. It's coming out now, and his teammate of Mr. P, sitting on a 130.0, is beginning a lap that he surely will be trying to improve on that time that he's sitting on. He definitely can do better than a 130, I believe. The slowest tier 3 driver can do better than a 130. So we'll see what time he sets. Might have been 2 out laps from the Mercedes, but rusted both now. Another lap, as he has all the responsibility of the Visa RB team today, and has to get the point, and a lot of points surely is what he will be going for. Pesci into the parabolica now will try to improve his time and beat Coffee. I believe he's already going to do that. Look at that, 17, 18, doesn't get into 19. It's going to be an 18.9 for Pesci. Up to P1 he goes. Very, very good one from him there. And he can take the championship lead today. I believe Bird should still be in the championship lead if I'm not mistaken. That's the tier 1 standings. I haven't gotten that yet to post, so I'm not really too sure. But Bird should be in the championship lead. So Pesci today will be taking the lead for sure. All he has to do is finish the race. He doesn't even have to win. And we'll see how that will work out for him. The Ferraris of Basil and Angry Badger working together here as Angry Badger will move out the way for Basil going into turn 1. That's where you do not want to mess it up though. So teammate gives you the slipstream, you want to make sure that you do hit that corner as good as possible. As Paco should be named tier 1.5. Exactly. She's named tier 1.5. She's too quick for tier 2. No, she's not that quick in tier 1. But it's not really a bad thing being a backmarker in tier 1. It's a thing a lot of drivers should be proud of. You're in the top tier in this league, and you just have a lot of sweaty guys. Being a backmarker doesn't mean you can't finish in the top 10 in the championship, because I remember the likes of Viva and myself finishing the top 10 in the championship, being backmarkers in season 7. I don't think we ever qualified in the top 10, but we always finished in the top 10 most of the time. So it's all about your race most of the time, and your racecraft, how you think, staying out of incidents. And sometimes you can just pick up those places here and there, trying to not get penalties. As Mercedes of 119.7 that he sits on. His teammates also into it. It looks like he might have aborted his lap. But Bezu goes up to P4. It looks like that slipstream right at the start that he got from his teammates might have given him a little bit of a help. And now he's into the top 4. Hey, surely! You sure you like to be Bezu? Those they didn't do nothing to you. Why do you have to smash them like that? Why do you have to smash the boards like that? Brake failure. This looks like a brake failure from Sebastian Vettel going in to turn 1, if you remember that 2019. Brake failure from Bezu. That's his excuse he can use now. Absolute brake failure going into there. I had a quali band, but yeah, tier 1 is just too much pressure right now. Not anyway. Right now, unfortunately, don't worry about it, Paco. Just race and anything can happen. You could see yourself right here in P5 at the end of the race. You never know. But Silky Stevens, are we going to have a conversation about Silky Stevens? Remember, he did start at the back in China. Was it him or was he his brother? He started at the back, one of them though, and finished in front. Race win. Or was it Bahrain that he did that? I mean, I know both Stevens brothers have done that this season. We're gonna have a serious conversation about him, but we do have Destroyer Drac in P3 though with a 119.4. Like I said, is there sand in their bags? There's a lot of wet sand in some of these drivers' bags. I won't say that they're sandbagging to get into the race. Quali is way different from race. You could be an absolute baller in quali, but when it comes to race, that is not just you. But Rusted Bolt now will go for another lap. Currently sitting in P8. We'll be looking to improve on that. So he has a few tier 2 drivers ahead of him. Rusted Bolt is not really known though for his qualifying, but he's known a lot for his race pace, his race craft. Sometimes you can see Rusted Bolt in P16, but before you blink, he's behind the man in P5 or something like that. It's not a surprise when he does that. Most of the drivers now have set their time, but they're going to have one more opportunity. It's going to be the last bash now to get pole position. I don't see anybody beating Pesci though. Coffee is the closest, but that time that Coffee sets, he probably feels that it might be the strongest that he can set, because it's a 119.1 is a very, very good time. But how is this going to work out for them, as the Mercedes of Mr. P is in a precarious position here? He has to do a good lap on this one because he's on a 130.0 sitting in P14. He has to make sure that his lap is good enough to start anywhere in the top 10. Anywhere in the top 10, which most of the drivers would be not sad with, as Silky Stevens. Just parking right there. You can't park there, sir. I see it goes deep again. It goes out the way again of the Ferrari. Hopefully that wasn't a block. That wasn't a block. Most people now are on out laps. The driver on a push lap is Viva, who's going this in P12. But he goes deep on his lap there. He might have enough time to recharge again and go for another one, but he'll have to move out of the way now for other drivers as they go by. But most drivers are on out laps, except from Rusted Bolt, who's heading down to turn 3. The chicane here. We're going to stick with him because I believe he'll be the first driver to complete his lap. Coffee, though, has invalidated, and that will be the end of the Aston Martin's qualifying. It's going to be P2 for him if nobody else has to say about that. And when I mean nobody else, I mean Destroyer Drac, who's just 3 tenths behind Coffee here. How much can he get? Yellow flags at the back. Looks like someone is moving out the way for other drivers on track. But here we go. They're all starting their laps now. UFRL could be right behind his teammate. Can't get that slipstream on him on this lap. And see if he does improve on the time that he's already set in P7. We'll see how the Mercedes team can. We'll see how he can recover after an unfortunate DNF last week after Wizard Rex in front of him spun, forcing him into the wall. early in at Australia. There we go. They're all crossing the line now to play that ball. Rusted boat will be pushing for a lap now. I thought he was on a lap, but it looks like he might have bailed on it. Viking Fox on an out lap for his teammate JCFC, completing his quali. 119.8 for him. P8 is going to be for the Haas. We'll see if anybody is going to knock him down from starting in the top 10. But the Mercedes now will be the first drivers to complete the lap. First is going to be Mr. P, who's almost 9 seconds up on his quickest time. You need a little bit more than that if you want to start somewhere in the top 10. You need a 120, 119 if you want to start in the top 10, as it looks like the pace here in tier 1 is unbelievable. But Mr. P is going to be first to cross the line. Let's watch as he does that, using all the ERS that he got in the time. Up to P3 he goes. Brilliant time from his teammates going into the pit. Merc, it's going to be P8 for him, retiring from the session. That's going to be that season. Now P is Destroyer Drac. He's out of the session. Looks like he might have spun and gone into the wall. Next is going to be Silky Stevens in P7. Up to P4 he goes. The conversation is going to be had about the Stevens brother. Well, about one of the Stevens brother. The championship leader in tier 2. But Basil is going to have to stick for P6. 119.6 for him. More drivers completing their laps now. It's going to be Viva. He's also had to stay down in P13. Nobody looks like they were improving. Rusted Bodo moves on to P4. Knocks down Silky Stevens to P5. The last driver, Viking Fox, going into the pits. And that will be that for qualifying, as Bam also sliding to the pits. And that will be the end of his qualifying too. Pesci gets your pole position with Coffee in P2. Mr. P, one lap is all he needed to get a top 3 start here at Monza, a track. Surely looks like he's confident in. Rusted Bolt, the only visa I'll be on track, already started well. We did say he's not the best at qualifying, but there you go, a great qualifying from him in the top 5. As Silky Stevens, our championship leader in tier 2, is going to start in the top 5 as Destroyer Drag season charge was getting a 10th. Click the curb before entering the parabolic car. Click the grass before entering the car. Oh my god, Drac. Skittish. Another DNF. Another did not finish. I mean, it set the lap though in quali for Drac, but not a bad place to start though. Still in P6. The fact that he did DNF on his final lap, he probably was even up on his time, and he was very, very close to the man in P4, as you can see. Even the man in P3. If Drac had even just 1.5 tenth improvement, he would have started P3 in this race. And that just goes to show you the pace that we have in tier 2. But in 5 minutes, the race is going to begin here at Monza, and a race that hopefully is going to be a very, very exciting one. If we look back to the Monza last season, that it was chaos at the end because of the safety car. Mateus DNFing late in the race. Very, very unexpected DNF there. Hopefully not another DNF for the Mercedes. We had one last week. I'm not looking for another one this week. As you can see, all their wings sitting in the pits. They're waiting for if any of them get damaged. Hopefully none of them get damaged. No driver ever wants to get damaged in a race like this, especially Monza. When you're out of that DRS, you basically get out of the race unless you have at least 1+ second pace on the drivers in front of you. To be very hard to catch up. But in 5 minutes, like I said, we will be starting the race. What time is it? Let's go to race day lounge now and see. Okay, nothing posted on race day lounge. Maybe I'll be the one to post it here. Let's see, 5-minute break. Tier 1 to 5-minute break. We finished. It's 28 now, so I'll say 32. I'll say 32 at tier 1. $20.32. Is it 20? Yeah, I think it's 20. It has to be 20 because Inter tier is 21. Yeah. 3 minutes, guys. 3 minutes. All right, we should be going now. It's 32. Okay. Here we go. 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Italy, Monza. Lights out, foot to the floor, and go, go, go. Pesci with an okay start there, keeping his lead, making sure that Rostebo can't get him. Rostebo, though, is going to get Mr. P, who's going to try around the outside to take that P3 back from the Visa OB, who makes a little bit of a tap on the Aston Martin behind, losing places Silky Stevens to Basil, who had a good start there, destroy a drag in front of the other Mercedes, who has already lost that 1 second time. The drivers in front, but definitely will catch that back as they squabble a little bit on the first lap. The drivers trying to make their places into the start of this race. Silky Stevens getting back in front of Basil, back into P5 for our championship leader in Tier 2, as Angry Badger now losing more places at the back. Hazer is gaining up to P11 already for the Williams. Hazer, oh yeah, he had a quali ban. I was about to say, what was Hazer's time in quali? He had a quali ban. Oh, as he almost makes contact with Bam there. Is that Bam? Yes. That is... No, actually, what was that? So I think that was Bam. Yeah, Bam and the Alpine of... Bam and the, sorry, Haas of JCFC almost making contact there. But they can't keep going. The Alpine now has been overtaken by the Mercedes of UFRL Merck, and they can now set up for racing. Lap 2 is going to begin once Pesci crosses the line. And there you go. Now 8:10 is away from Coffee. He's going to try and break that DRS. If he does break that DRS, I see Pesci running away with this one. If they do not have a safety car. As there's no moves being made, any moves being made yet. Silky Stevens and the Mercedes making contact. The Mercedes there, Silky Stevens going off track. The Red Bull of ARC Mickey also going off track there. Drivers losing places, but there you go. Mr. P still up to P4. Silky Stevens has now dropped down to P8. He definitely won't be happy with whatever happened there. He will try now to get back into that DRS. Mercedes though has lost the DRS to Rusted Bolt in front, so he's having a strong race here. He needs to have a strong race because his teammate has that race ban that he's sitting on. So Rusted Bolt's gonna have to get all the points for Visa RB today, and he's already having a good start to this one. Hazer 1.2 behind Viking will try and get into that DRS to join the pack in front. He does have that pace to get the DRS, but ARC Mickey has that pace to make that move down the inside. Into Ascari they go, and into P10, the Red Bull of ARC Mickey. These tier 2 drivers showing their pace here in tier 1 and not making it easy for the tier 1ers. Here we go now, Mr. P. Now, so he doesn't have that pace to get back into the top 3. But the race is still a long one. Merck though making up 2 places up to P6. Rusted Bolt with a quicker lap, 122.0 for the Visa RB, who's now lost that DRS to Coffee in front, who's doing a strong job here. 4/10 is behind to Pesci. If Coffee wins a race, that would be a race that I would definitely love to do corners on. I want to see Coffee win a race here. I'll put that pressure on. Pesci. Pesci thought he would just be running away with this one. Now that Bird isn't here on deck, had to start at the back. But UFRL Coffee is not going to make it easy for him. Keep going now. Any more moves being made at the back as Deck now very close to JCFC and making a move on JCFC up to P13. He goes. He's the other drivers who had the quali ban. Hazer is having a better start. And Deck here already up to P10, and his next target is going to be the car without DRS, Viking Fox in that house. Another reserve driver is going to be under pressure now from the Williams of Hazer. It's going to be an easy one for him. It's an easy one for Paco as she gets past Viva up to P15. She goes. So try not to lose that DRS in front, because Viva now is going to put pressure on her. But Hazer already close to Viking Fox. We didn't wait for the move here. That will not be a smart place to go for the move. You're going to have the DRS as you head down to turn 1. And there you go now. Rusted Bolt, another fastest lap here as he's absolutely pushing. Destroyer Drag getting past the Mercedes of Merck as they will keep switching the DRS to make sure that they stay close to the drivers in front. Bezu having a strong race here. Up to P4 he goes. Viking Fox has now been overtaken by Hazer up to P9. And he's already into the top 10. He can't keep fighting. His next target will be another tier 2 driver of Silky Stevens, who's staying with this pack here. Very strong racing from him, but Bezu now, as you can see, 2.5 seconds away from the driver in the front. Oh, a little bit shaky there on his wheel, climbing the curb, definitely cutting the corner a little bit. Maybe that'll be a warning, or a corner cutting warning maybe. But Mr. P now can't put pressure on him. Will have that DRS behind the Ferrari, and definitely making a move. Ferrari who moves to the right there as he slides through. Destroyer Drag in the Alpine will be joining that and also getting past the Ferrari. Will the other Mercedes also take this opportunity? No, he will not. Not close enough to make it on the Ferrari in front. Rusted Bolt though now has joined the top 3 fight. 3-second penalty for JCFC, and the top 3 are Pesci, Coffee and Rusted Bolt. Rusted Bolt and Coffee replacing the Bird and Deck when it comes to the top 3 fight in this one. We're just 5 laps into this race at Monza, a race that is already exciting. And can it be an exciting move for the Mercedes of Merck as he moves past 1, moves past 2, up to P5 he goes, and now the Mercedes can work together to make sure that they have no problems as DNF for JCFC into the pits he goes, and retirement for the Haas driver. He's done with this one, and Viking is now going to be the one who has to take all the points for the Haas team today. Wizard Rex will be back from the pack. It looks like something might have happened with the McLaren as he's down into P17 now. Heading back to the front, Pesci, Coffee and Rusted Bolt still as they are, top 3. Still the top 3. Now the Mercedes, how well will they work together to protect themselves from the Alpine, the Ferrari, the Kick Sauber, the Williams and the Red Bull, who are actually catching up to them now. And it's going to be all the way down to P13 from P4. A long pack it is. If Simiki doesn't lose that DRS to Hazer in front of him, he's going to push to make sure he doesn't do that. But as you can see, low on that ERS, not ideal when you're trying to hold on to a driver here at Monza. As we head to the front, when will Coffee decide to make the overtake on Pesci in front? Maybe he's just going to stay behind Pesci, knowing the pace that Pesci has is pointless to make an overtake on him. Save as much ERS as you can. As you can see, Rusted Bolt with a lot of ERS on his car and saving as much as oh, I forgot to put the tires on. I actually forgot to put all that stuff on. And there you go. Most of these drivers are mediums, but a bunch of them actually starting on the hard tires. Both Mercedes starting on the hard tires. Interesting call. Would there be a double stack somewhere? One of them surely will be going a lap longer, especially the fact that both of them are close to each other now. They'll be hoping that Basil behind can lose time to them and keep the drivers behind them away from the two Mercedes in front. We'll see how that goes for them, but as they keep fighting in front now, Coffee has lost a little bit of time to Pesci. 9/10 he is now behind the Williams and our championship leader as we speak of Pesci, and he will be trying to pull away from the Aston Martin behind. He doesn't want that pressure of anyone who can steal this win away from him. A win that will be so important when it comes to his championship fight with the Bird, who is out in the race ban. As a little bit deep there for Merck. It looks like twice he goes deep there. Might be 2-1 for the Mercedes. It's not what he would need. 9/10 now. Destroyer Jack getting past Basil. Very, very quick. Destroyer Jack is looking in this race. We're going to have a conversation about him. But the conversation now is Hazer diving down the insides of Silky Stevens up to P8. What a race Hazer is having here. Already up to P8. Let's see where he started. Let's see position changes for that man in the Williams who's absolutely cooking. Is what I would say. 9 places made, 8 places made for Deck 2 as they're having good starts to their to their engine pens here at Monza. Hazer now has made the move on the Destroyer Jack up to P7. He's not taking it easy on anybody. Next target now is going to be the Ferrari of Colin. After that, it's going to be the two Mercedes who are working together in front. That's going to be a little bit more harder for Hazer. But with the pace that he's showing, he definitely can. And oh, as Destroyer Jack off the track, he was heading to the wall. I thought he might go for a DNF, but that means it's going to be a drop all the way down to P16 for Destroyer Jack. He does have the pace, but like I said, the mistakes is what he needs to get out of his game. But he does have the pace to race in front. As he has the pace now to get past Silky Stevens up to P9 ALC. Deck isn't out of that DRS, so he's going to have to push and get close to Hazer. Right behind Hazer he is. These two absolutely racing here as Basil has now gotten back into the DRS of the two Mercedes in front. Coffee doing a good job to make sure that Pesci doesn't run away. And Rusted Bolt can't just watch the two in front, staying behind them. He's in a great place, 5 seconds away from the two Mercedes behind, as Mr. P will be switching with his teammates up to P4. Basil now slightly losing time on them, and he's going to have pressure of Hazer behind. Hazer used a lot of his ERS to make those moves, so he's going to have to spend a few laps recharging his battery as a Deck a little bit squirrely there, but now he's into the DRS zone of Hazer, and both of them maybe could work together to make sure that the Mercedes do not run away. But it depends if two championship contenders of Kick Sauber and Williams want to actually work together in this race. It's a little bit of gravel rubbing there for Mr. P. And Basil now has caught up to the back of them, and exactly what he needs. Riva still behind Parkour here as they are 2.5 seconds now away from down in P13 and P14 respectively. Angry Badger, Destroyer Jack will drop down to P16 after that spin. He absolutely gutted now, but Wizard Rex now finally has somebody to race. And will that person race? Will he make that move on the person as they head down to Ascari? He does have the ERS on his car, but it looks like he wouldn't be close enough this time around. They will have their own personal battle down there. But when will Coffee decide he wants the lead of this race? He does have the pace to keep with Pesci, but does he have the pace to make sure? William, can I see the tires? Yeah, I see now. I didn't even see your message. I just saw that I hadn't done it yet. Go back to tires. I did when I went to position change. I probably forgot to get back into the tires. Well, here you go. These are the tires. 8 laps. Obviously, everyone has done 8 laps on the tires. A bunch of strategy mixed up here. Top 3 on the mediums. Two Mercedes going for the hards, like I said. Which one of them will be going a lap longer? But now the pack has come back to what it was. It's going to be from P4 all the way down to P8. There's a 5 car pack here, as Hazer has gotten past the Ferrari of Basil, and his next targets now are going to be the Mercedes that he's had a lot of history with both of them. Oh my god, do you see that? Colin and Basil going deep there, and Deck done a good job there to avoid the Ferrari, who went into the gravel. Did a good job to get back on track, but it was that an unsafe entry from the Ferrari? Maybe not, maybe he had nothing else he could do. We'll see. But Hazer now 9/10 behind the Mercedes into that DRS, exactly where he will want to be. He won't want to fall out of that DRS, as Deck now is behind him. Maybe they can work together to catch up to the Mercedes. We'll see. Like I said a few laps ago, see if they do that. Heading back to the front as Pesci, Coffee and Rosted both. Very good race for this three now. It looks like those three will be finishing in the top 3. Deck, very early pit stop for the kick Sauber of Deck. Is this undercut going to work? Is going to work on the drivers in front? 10-second penalty, speeding into the pit lane. Destroyer, Drac, speeding into the pit lane. He's going to get that 10-second penalty. He's definitely going to go for the hard tires. 17 laps that he's going to do on them. For the 17 laps that he's going to have to do with 10 seconds looming on his head. Hazer now has cut back to Mercedes, and he can now fight with them. But Deck decided to go into the pit. How is this going to work out for the kick Sauber, who's now 10 seconds behind Wizard Rex coming out of the chicane? He's going for that. He's going for that undercut. I remember Bird last season did a very early undercut to a lot of drivers, and it actually worked for him before Matthias obviously went into the wall. And can that strategy work out for Declan, as Viking Fox now will get past Silky Stevens up to P8 for the Haas? A strong job he's doing here for his team, as his teammate has retired from the session. Kakona with a 3-second penalty, still under pressure from Viva and the Aston Martin. As we head back to the front, yellow flags, more yellow flags. Destroyer Drac once again. 10-second penalty for Rusted Bolt as he speeds in pit lane. 10-second penalty for Coffee for collision with Rusted Bolt. And the Mercedes drivers behind will definitely be thinking about that. The 10-second penalty that both of them were sitting on. Maybe Coffee can appeal his own. Maybe Rusted Bolt can appeal his own, because it was a collision. Maybe Coffee did go into the back of him, but 10-second penalty now for 3 drivers speeding into the pit lane side by side. Kick Sauber and the Haas of Viking Fox go. And here we go, the pit stops. 5 drivers now with penalties on track, but the pit stops are causing chaos now. Pesci also has a penalty. Is that 10 for Pesci? It is 10 for Pesci. Oh my god, you're going to have to be careful. People, be careful, please, going into the pit lane. It's top 10 for the top 3. And the Mercedes of Merck and Mr. P would definitely be looking at that and be thinking, starting on those hard tires, their mediums are going to be strong to the end. And the 10-second penalty that the top 3 are sitting on is going to be something that they can think about. Declan, though, did his pit lane very clean. Did his pit stop very clean, and he is also in prime position here to finish ahead of the 3 drivers who were in the top 10. Pesci getting past Wizard Rex, up to P10 he goes. ARC Mickey making a move on Bam, and this is the big pack here. As you can see, 3-second penalty now for Angry Badger. Side by side, the Aston Martin and the Alpine are going. It's going to be Viva and Bam going into the final corner. And they're going to be going side by side now as they head to turn 1. Who's going to make that move? More drivers going to the pits as Silky into the pits go. Parkour as Viva now down the inside. He's going to make that place on Bam. Is Bam going to fight it too hard? Round the outside going into turn 1. Viva completes that move. Parkour is going to take that opportunity and pull her car right on the inside. Bam is not going to make it easy for the Red Bull, but she completes it, making contact with Bam. They're sending him into the wall. Unbelievable. Is she also out of the session? Is that safety car? That's not going to be a safety car. It's a yellow flag, but they can keep going. Chaos here at Monza. You only took 10 laps for the chaos to begin, but it has begun now, and we're going to have 15 more laps of racing. How is this going to turn out for the drivers? As this, everything is happening here. As Angry Badger now has been overtaken by Pesci, he's going to have to drive off this 10-second penalty that he sits on. It's not going to be too hard for someone like Coffee doing as Rusted Bolt, and Coffee now sitting behind Wizard Rex, losing time behind Wizard Rex. They were fighting with Pesci, but he's already cleared 2 drivers that they're going to need to clear very soon as the Mercedes still working together now. And I don't know how I have to hold on my excitement as we see the Mercedes in prime position. We'll see how this works out for them. But the ALC under pressure now from Viva, who's going to make another move on the Red Bull. Up he goes into P4. His next target now is going to be Viking Fox coming alive here. The Aston Martin later in this race. 10-second penalty for Bam. It's happening all over now. Well, that's 4 drivers speeding, 5 drivers. Destroy Track, one of them, 2 Alpines, speeding into the pit lane and getting that 10-second penalty. Everyone is going to have to be careful now. I'm giving you guys warnings if you're listening and racing. Careful going into that pit lane. It looks like it's a dangerous one here at Monza because the 10-second penalties are mounting. And if you can remember the season opener in Tier 2, the 10-second penalties were also mounting on that one as everybody was speeding into the pit lane. And I mean, it was wet then. They have excuses, but it's dry race. It's Tier 1, and they keep doing it. They keep speeding into the pit lane. Hopefully, my hope is that the Mercedes don't do it. 3-second penalty for Hazer. 3-second penalty for Hazer in the Williams as he's right behind Deck now. The undercut that Deck decided to go for has worked to perfection as he's now 2.4 seconds ahead of the Williams of Hazer. Does Hazer have the pace though to catch up to him? He will try and walk here with Basil. More yellow flags at the back as that Silky Stevens going into the wall. Safety car. It's a safety car. Both Mercedes are going to go into the pits, but that is going to be a double stack for them. How much is Merck going to lose on this one? As Viking Fox will be going to, but most drivers will actually be going to the pits. Now, Viking Fox and Pacordo are going to take massive advantage of this. Viva, ALC, Mickey, all these drivers who didn't go into the pits are going to take big advantage of this. The Mercedes, where is he going to drop to? No, he didn't drop. They are still 1-2. The Mercedes, a perfect situation for the top 2, and we'll see how they can hold on to that. They're going to have behind them Basil, Hazer, Viking Fox, Paco, Viva, and Rusted Bolt. This race has been mixed up. Look at Pesci as he's dropping. If Bird is watching this, he's going to be a very, very happy Bird here. Pesci dropping down to P12. 14 laps into this race, and when the safety car comes in, it's probably going to be 16 laps into this race. It's only going to have 10 to 11 laps of racing to try and get back to the front, as Destroyer Drac is even going to get past Rusted Bolt here. It's all falling apart for the top 3 after getting the 10-second penalty. The 10-second penalty that they can't now appeal. They can't now appeal to get a 10-second penalty. But you know what's ironic? Let me tell you guys why I told my boys today. I told them a 1-2 and nothing else. If you don't get a 1-2, I'm going to kick you guys out of the team. Obviously, it was a joke, but they're doing it. They're 1-2 right now. They're going to have Basil and Hazer behind them. But on those medium tires that they have the pace. They can't work together. As migrating host, it looks like Woody has left the session. But going to the back now, Bam, when will he join the pack? The safety car definitely will be in at the end of the next lap. Oh, Bam, slowing down. Or maybe the game, or maybe his Delta. Yeah. I was wondering what his plan was there, but it looks like it was his Delta. But what a race this is becoming, honestly. Oh, God. If you can feel my heart now, you know how much it's racing. It's a lot happening. It's not just racing because of my 2 boys in 1-2. It's also racing because of the fact that this has been a very, very exciting race that is looking very unpredictable at this point. Parkour will be loving the position that she is. Viva, ALC, Mickey, Viking, Fox, who all Angry Badger, Wizard, Rex, will all be loving the positions that they're in right now. And we'll see what they can do in this one. Basil has left the session. Interesting. Could I give him an invite? Let me see if I can give him an invite. Do I have him? Let's see if I have him. Let's see if I have Basil. Oh, I hope I don't get kicked out too. Come on. What's going on here? Oh, what's going on? Do I have to back out and come back in? Probably. Oh no. Looks like I have to reset. I tried to go into friends to see if I have Basil, but As you can see, once Woody left, once we migrated host and Woody left, there's been chaos now. Drivers dropping out, even myself having problems. So let me try this. See if that works. No, that didn't work. So I'm going to reset. Let me quickly reset. Let's quickly reset before. Let's join back in. Invite please, invite please. I am not missing any laps of racing in this one because it's heating up. It's heating up here in tier 1. Still waiting on an invite. Still waiting on. I'm going to put in. Let's put in the lounge. I hope the safety car hasn't come in yet, because if he has, no one will be able to invite me back. At tier 1. Someone invite me, please. Invite me, please.
Recharge off.
Oh no, what's going on here? Come on. I think they're all racing now, so like none of them are going to be able to invite me. I'm not sure if any of them are going to be able to invite me. Ask to join. I mean, I can ask to join Viva, but I don't know if he's going to be able to invite me. He's racing a parkour. You're a fudging legend. That's what you are, parkour. A fudging legend. Oh my god, it's happening again. What is wrong with this game? Each time I go to my friends, I just get this screen. Oh my god, there's no way we're gonna miss what's going. There's no way we're gonna miss this. Come on. It's happened again. Every time I try to go to accept an invite or go into friends, it just disconnect. Once we lost the host, I think the host was Woody. It just turned to chaos. It's absolute chaos here. Finally, oh my god. Oh, this game, man. This game. This game. This game. It's a disaster. It's a disaster, Ziggy. It's a disaster. I just want to slam my fist on the table. Boom. But yeah, we're back now. So I think the safety car just came in right now. So I mean, we're not gonna miss too much. It's chaos. It's chaos in the race. It's chaos in the servers. Oh, God, fudging hell. But here we go. The Mercedes are still leading. Parkour now has lost to DRS to them in front. And that's the perfect situation for the Mercedes. But Hazer is also in a good position. Pesci, though, oh, he's going to have to claw back in a race that he needed to get as much points as he can when he came to this championship fight against as Bezu now is out of the session, can't come back again. I believe he's joined multiple times. And the rules are if you join multiple times and you keep getting kicked out, that would be the end of his race. A race that he was having a very good one. He's now out of it. Unlucky for Bezu as he's going to be losing more and more places. Gotten, very, very gotten there for the Ferrari driver. But Viva now right behind Hazer in a very good place. Viva is having a good season, honestly. The positions he's been finishing last few races. Can he have another good one here as Bezu has joined the session one more time? Something happened there. 10-second penalty, corner cutting. Somebody has lost the wing. It's Pesci. Pesci has lost the front wing and plate. 10-second penalty for ALC. Will Pesci go into the pits? Virtual safety car. It's a virtual safety car. Everything is going on. What hasn't happened in this race? It's a virtual safety car. And when anybody decide to go into the pits, Pesci will probably have to go into the pits after getting that damage, or maybe he will stay out and struggle. Rusted Bolt down into P17. What happened? Drive to penalty now for Angry Badger. What happened to Rusted Bolt down in P17? Oh God, just chaos here in this race. What is going on? As the virtual safety car now has come back in, not enough time for Pesci to even think about the pit stop. As Parkour, look at Parkour go up to P3. She has that 3-second penalty that she's sitting on, so she's definitely going to lose places at the end of the race unless she can drive that time of Hazer. 9/10 behind her now. We want to get back into that DRS. Pesci will need to start making places as soon as possible. Sitting on the wing damage. Viking Fox also looks like he has wing damage. I think I saw something. No, his wing is clean, but the deck in that kick Sauber makes the move on Viking. I thought he was also going to do the same thing to Pesci, but he's staying behind the rear wing of that Williams driver. Maybe two of them now can claw their way back up to the front, but their next target is going to be Viva in front, but caught right behind the two Mercedes who have stayed out of all the chaos here. Unbelievable from both of them. In a very fortunate, I'll say just very fortunate for two of them. They have that pace, but the fortune has falling to the Mercedes here today. It's unbelievable. As Declan 6/10 behind Pesci now, they are not into the DRS of Viva yet, because Viva has that pace to stay with Hazer and stay away from Pesci. Williams though still having a strong. Williams, no matter what happens, they're still going to have strong results, because 4 and 6 they currently sit in as they sit at the top of the constructors. They can keep fighting for it, but bam, Silky Stevens going side by side into the Ascari. Silky Stevens going to have to go onto the grass there. Declan just joined. Declan got kicked out of the session. He's just joined now. Can he take control of the car? Definitely he will be able to, but not chaos for him. Look at after we lost the host. It's all turned to shite. It has all turned to absolute shite after we lost the host there of Woody, I believe. But hey, Viva now up to P4 he goes. Look at that Aston Martin go. And up to P4, Viva is up there. Can he complete a very strong race and finish in the top 5 in this one? Smoke at the back as more drivers are going at it. 2/10 now. The two Alpines are going to be together now. Can they keep themselves away from Wizard Rex? Will Bam go for a move on his teammate as they get into the next corner? It looks like he's just going to have to hold it back as more places being made at the back. Rusted Bolt getting past Silky Stevens, who went into the pit. Looks like he got damaged. I think Silky Stevens might have gotten damaged in earlier incident, or might just... Oh, Silky Stevens might have gotten a drive-through penalty because he didn't change his tires. 11 laps he's done on these mediums. Or did he go back onto the 11-lap all mediums? Oh, absolutely disaster if that happened for Silky Stevens. But back to the front now as Parkour in prime position. All she has to do is just keep using the DRS on the Mercedes drivers in front so she can stay away from everybody else behind. Viva is also going to be thinking about that. Hazer's pace not too strong here, as Viva is strong enough to keep him away. Does he have a damage on his wing? Maybe that's why he's not too strong. No, he doesn't have that damage. Viva, fastest lap, 1:21.5. Where did this come from? That's his fastest lap. He currently is going to get that extra point in this race if he does stick with that fastest lap. Declan makes the move up to P7. As the Martin, of course, he tried it on the inside of Viking, but nothing doing. A little bit of a lockup for the Haas driver, but he can stay behind the kick Sauber. 9/10 now that Pesci Hazer is behind Viva, but he knows that his teammate might have a little bit more pace than him, but he does have that damage on his wing, Pesci. So they will have to think about it. Will team orders come into play here? Will Hazer allow Pesci slide through? And we'll see how they do. But the top 5 still remain in that DRS 5 as Pesci now is getting closer and closer and will join our files. However, they cross the line at the end of this one. They're going to have 5 laps of racing. 6 laps of racing in a race that's been absolute chaos as this Bam gets past the straight track. As here we go now. 3-second penalty for Parkour. She knows there's more drivers behind that are going to finish ahead of her. Only Hazer behind her has that 3-second penalty. Declan now, after getting that disconnection, is now 2.9 seconds away from Pesci. And It's going to be very difficult for him to catch up to Pesci in front, but he's going to be pushing. Pesci, remember, has the damage on his wing and is losing even more time to his teammate, who is not fast enough right now to keep up that hold. Parkour lagging a little bit there. I thought she went deep, but just a little bit of a lag. They're going to keep going. Silky Stevens now, 3-second penalty. Another penalty for him. As this race is coming to an absolutely blistering end. Mercedes now going to get very, very strong points here. If they can keep going, just keep it on track, boys. That's what I'll say to them if I was with them right now. Keep it on track. Make your TP very, very, very happy. I have to be a little bit biased on this one. Who wouldn't be? But the race here has been absolutely brilliant. Bird will still see pressure in P6 and be thinking, not too bad, because he could have finished ARC out of the session. ARC decides to DNF. Maybe not the best situation, as Red Bull are in there when it comes to the championship fight, and his teammate Parkour in P3. She's going to have that penalty and drop a little bit, but she's in prime position to get strong points there, so maybe that DNF from ARC might not have been the best option as they're going to begin lap 23. Pesci losing even more time to Hazer in front, but Declan still doesn't have that pace to catch up to Pesci. Coffee, though, has overtaken the kick Sauber of Vecklin, who's going to take that place back from him as they head down the straight now. Down the inside he goes. Easy move for the kick Sauber up to P7. They're going to keep switching to see if they're going to have the pace to catch up the Pesci from yellow flags. More yellow flags. Or is that just the game who is not changing it? I believe that's just the game. No yellow flags are going on. Or it looks like something is happening. Oh, somebody's off track somewhere. I don't know. Something happened somewhere. But there's yellow flags. This might be the Alpines of Drag and Bam that just caused the yellow flags there. So something happened somewhere. Or Pesci still trying to get back in the pack. 2 seconds that he's behind them. He has that, remember, he has that damage on his wing. As they're coming to the final stages of this race. Lap 24 is about to begin. At the end of this one, these two, very strong drive between them. Viva will be my driver of the day if he does finish on the podium. A podium that will be surely well deserved. Hazer has that 3-second penalty, so he knows that he might be pointless fighting too hard on this one. But Viva now very close to that Red Bull of Parkour, as they're going to be protecting themselves in front. Good driving between those two. They're about to start lap 24. Will Parkour go for the move is the question on the two Mercedes in front. Does she know that because of that 3-second penalty, it might just be best to stay behind? Viva is going to go for it though. He's going to try on the outside. Not doing, but Parkour gaining on that Mercedes, who are going to defend from the drivers behind, trying to even make that move. Hazer though is going to try around the outside of Viva. Will he make contact with the Aston Martin? No, he will not. He's going to slightly slow them down there, because now Pesci can gain a little bit on the drivers in front who are squabbling. Viva and Hazer will go side by side going into the chicane here. Can Hazer complete the move? Yes, he can. Up to P4. Viva is going to try and hold it around the outside. Yes, he does. Brilliant defending from the Aston Martin of Viva, as Parkour now still in P3. A strong race between these two. We saw them fighting for P13 and P14, but here they are 10 places up in P3 and P4. And well, now Hazer, Pesci now is going to catch up to them. Can he get back into that DRS? Pesci is still in a great place to win this race, but because of that wing damage, it's going to be, I believe if Pesci hadn't gotten that wing damage, this race win will probably still be in the bag for him. But now he's still going to have to struggle, get past his teammate. Will his teammate make it easy for him is the question. And he's slowing down there to give him the DRS. Nice teamwork from Hazer, but will his teammate make it easy for him, knowing he's on that 3-second penalty? But he does have the more pace than Pesci though, because he doesn't have the wing damage on his car, as the Mercedes continue their defense of the drivers behind. Parkour now has gained more time on the Aston Martin. The Mercedes will go too wide as they go into turn 1. That's just right there. It's just experience defending from those two, as there's more yellow flags at the back caused by rusted bolt. And we can keep going now. UFRL Coffee gets back ahead of Deck, and these two will keep fighting for P7. That's the best they can probably do here with 2 laps to go in this one. As Hazer looking for it down the inside of Viva, but no space there whatsoever. Very close to that violin, very close to the inside, and goes down the inside of Viva, who's going to defend it on the outside. He keeps defending from Hazer. Can he do it once again in this corner? No, he not. Hazer has finally completed the move on the Aston Martin, who's now going to be under pressure from his teammate Pesci, who's going to go right to the right side of Viva, who's going to stay on the inside to defend from the Williams. He's now in a Williams sandwich, and can he take that place back from Hazer, because he's going to still have the DRS on him in front. But they keep going here. It's going to be 2 more laps of racing when they cross the line on lap 26. The penultimate lap of this race is about to begin. Who is going to be your winner though? Merck and Mr. P definitely will be fighting for that race win at the end. No team orders at the end for sure, but it's going to be a team order for Parkour as she's right behind the Mercedes. She's gaining on the Mercedes, trying on the inside, switching to the outside, to the inside, trying on the outside the first time, almost going into the Mercedes there. She's done a good job to stop there. 26, and there's going to be 1 more lap at the end of this one. Hazer now is going to be putting pressure on Parkour. He wants to get past the Red Bull because they're both sitting on the 3-second penalty. If he does finish ahead of the Red Bull, he will finish ahead of her on track. Tries it on the inside, nothing doing there. He knew that he'd have to pull out of that one, but can he hit her with the switchback? Yes, he can. Can she defend around the outside on this one like Viva did a lap before? No, she cannot. Up to P3 Hazer goes on the final lap, on the penultimate lap of this one. And it's going to be 1 more lap, 1 more opportunity for Hazer to get past the 2 Mercedes in front who are having their way in this race. And now, on the final lap of this one, the question is, are the Mercedes going to have team orders? Who is going to be the winner between them? As Tijani says hello in chat, I hope you've been here from the start, because this race has been one of the best we've had this season. And here we go, last lap of this one. Can the Mercedes defend like they've done from Hazer behind one more time? It's going to be 1 more way down to the street. 1 more move from the Mercedes of Mr. P on Merck. They're going to be fighting at it. Mr. P is going to take the lead of this race. Who is going to be a winner? Is it going to be Merck? Is it going to be Mr. P? As Hazer is right behind them, putting pressure on him. Side by side, Parkour and Hazer are going to go. But Hazer has that 3-second penalty. He knows it might be pointless fighting with the Mercedes in front. But what he's going to do is set up his teammate Pesci to be in prime position here to set himself up to P4. Pesci is going to finish on the podium. A strong recovery from Pesci here. Good driving, especially with the damage, as you can see on his car. But it's not going to be the 2 Williams, the 2 Mercedes. What can the Mercedes do to defend from the very fast moving Williams here on the final lap of this one? And here we go now. They're going to give it their all. They're going to use all the ERS, all the battery left on the car. It's the final lap of the race. That is exactly what you want to do. But Hazer not close enough on Merck. This time, can he get him as they head down to the Parabolica? Parkour and Viva though are going to be going side by side. Viva wants to get that place on track as the 2 Williams now going to go side by side. Hazer is going to make it easy for his teammates as he gets through. Can Pesci get one of the Mercedes as they come out of the final corner? That is going to be that. Sensei does it once again. He has the win that he's been looking for. It's a 1-2 for the Mercedes team. Pesci will round up the grid. Viva and P4 in a very strong drive. Hazer takes P5, Parkour in P6. Deck will take P7. 8 for Coffee, 9 for Viking, for 10 Wizard Rex, 11. It's going to be Bam. Rusted Bolt in the first great start to the start of the race, but you all fell apart for the Visa RB. Angry Badger in the Ferrari. It's going to take P14 and Silky Stevens will round up the grid. But it's double points for the Mercedes team. Double podium for the Mercedes team, sorry. And a win for the old man. The win for the champ of old. Mr. P does it. A win that he's been looking for 2 seasons now. And he finally does it. His teammates will settle for P2. A strong drive for Pesci rounds up the podium. And you can see I am not hiding my excitement in this one. Very, 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 very entertaining race here at Monza. But it's a 1-2. A 1-2 that I told them to get. But I was obviously joking. But they did. They went and done it. They went and done it. Great race for them here. As my driver of the day, definitely. I think I'll still give that to Viva. And a good one for him here. As Hazer takes the drive off. Hazer. Very good race from Hazer there, I'll say. He also started at the back. Also very good. If he didn't get that 3-second penalty, he might not have given that third place to Pesci. But Pesci recovers and gets back onto the podium. But there you go. It's a full Mercedes engine on the podium. And there you go. Mr. P is going to be a happy man. The team are going to celebrate because we all know that the champagne is going to taste absolutely brilliant in the Mercedes camp. Mr. P wins the Italian Grand Prix. A win at Monza. What a race. What a race that one. I can't. From once we got into lap 10, it all went off. It just all went off. What a race that one. I'm going to show the grid. I have to show the grid. A grid that has given us absolute great entertainment here. Race director also. Show the race director. And there you go. There was a lot happened. Those 10-second penalties that those drivers were getting, especially Coffee, Rusted Bolt, and Pesci, threw away their races. There, you have to be careful when you're going into the pit lane, and it looks like they were not careful enough. That was a good one, guys. A very, very good one. I have been Willie Fernandez. We have been UFRL, and that was a race to watch. And we will see you again in Tier 2 tomorrow at Abu Dhabi as Silky Stevens will continue his race at the top of the standings. Good night and goodbye.